Hello YouTube Pipers, it's Double O Pipe here, aka Rick. My Peterson's Sherlock Holmes with the P-tip. I'm going to fill that one with something different. I've been stashing it in this box or tub, but it ain't that. It's called the Country Squire's Shepherd's Pie. I thought I would give that a try. Boy, does that feel dry. Let's see how it turns out. And I watched Paladin Piper's post on Tongue Bite this morning, and he was saying that you should not pack this like I guess I've been packing it, but put it in gently. So I'll try gently and see how it does. A lot of sticks in this. Smells pretty good, but it's a very faint smell. I thought being in this tub it would stay fresh, but I don't know if that's fresh or not. Let's light up. Well, I don't know how packing it this loose is going to turn out, but we'll see. Doesn't feel like there's much in the bowl. Still can't detect individual flavors. My mother used to make shepherd's pie quite a bit after Sunday, because on Sunday we'd always have a roast beef, and that roast beef would always have plenty of leftover. And that would go on a shepherd's pie during the week. This doesn't taste like that. It's a mild taste. Not bad. It's a hot day out there, and being in excuse me, and being in South Carolina, subtropical temperature that it is, very humid. And this is what we as kids used to have to play in during the summer, and it didn't bother us one bit. Because we were used to it, I guess. But I remembered one day, my buddy lived down the street, and whenever you went into his place, it was like a 45-degree angle on the incline of the driveway that they had up to the flat portion of the land they lived on. A good deal higher than the street. I would jump on my bike and ride willy-nilly to his place and turn as hard as I could, as fast as I could up that hill and get a small jump out of it and hit the flat of the land and go up to his front door and drop the bike and go knock on the door. This was the beginning of the day, summer day. Not too long after being out of school. So we were free as birds. And he came running out of the house. He said, look what I got. And I said, what is it? He said, playing cards and clothespins. We're going to make our bikes sound like motorcycles. I said, how are we going to do that? He said, come over here and I'll show you. So he bent those cards and put them on the framework of the fender so that it stuck inside the spokes of the wheel on the front and on the back. He said, here's yours. Put them on there like I just showed you. So I put them on mine too. So we got them on the bikes. We lifted our bikes up, jumped on them, and headed out for the street. Now, back in those days, there wasn't that much traffic around here, so we didn't worry about it a whole lot. And good Lord looked out for us because there didn't seem to be traffic when we just hit the road and took off. But it was the same thing. You'd go at the end of the drive and hit that 45-degree angle down to the road and turn as hard as you could and take off down the road. Now, as we were riding, those spokes were hitting those playing cards, and it did sound kind of like a motorcycle because he had a roar that you didn't have before, and it sounded pretty darn good. So we hit it as hard as we could, and at the end of the road we just turned and went down the next road without even thinking about traffic, which is, you know, like I say, good Lord looked out for us. But we were pumping those pedals as hard as we could, standing up into them and just over the handlebars just hard as we could, making those playing cards roar. And then we got to the end of that street. We had to stop there because this road that we hit was kind of the main drag through the middle of the island, headed to John's Island. And when there was no traffic coming, we went across and we hit those pedals as hard as we could again. We were going to the grammar school, which was a school we attended. It was in the middle of the terrace, Riverland Terrace, the area we were headed for. And we hit the back roads, we were standing up over those handlebars, just pumping as hard as we could, making those playing cards roar down the road. We thought we were hot stuff. Turning the back streets, turned the last turn we had to make to the right, hit that road that went to the fence where the school was, and there was a little place that you could go through, and we went right through into the sand, which slowed us down pretty much immediately. Well, we were heading into the play area of the school. don't think there's enough tobacco in there to keep a flame. But anyway, as we went through the gate, to our left there were bike racks. We could put our bikes. There was a tennis court and a basketball court over there. This is where we used to play marbles too, in the dirt. Excuse me. And the school was directly in front of us. It was a 2-story red brick school. And directly to the right of us was a small brick fence and some telephone poles, I think about 4 of them, with some wire attached all the way up to the top to block any baseballs that would come from the pitcher. The people would sit along that little brick wall and watch the people play, because this was a baseball field beyond those 4 telephone posts with the wire attached. And when we got there, we dropped our bikes because there were a load of boys over there already gathered at the school. They were knocking fly balls out into the field for kids to catch. And my buddy ran up to him and said, "We got enough to play some baseball?" And the kid said, "Now that you're here, we do." So, you know what I just tasted? It's got a soapy taste. That's kind of new. Not crazy about that. Anyway, the 2 guys who were usually the head of a team told us to line up. They would pick who they wanted on their team. With me, I was always usually the last person picked. I was not very good at sports. Not very good at sports at all. So, each one would pick somebody, and sure enough, at the end, I was standing there looking at them like, who's going to pick me? And my buddy said, "Come on, get over here." You could hear the reluctance in his voice. But anyway, I went over to him, and we were going out. The other team got to bat first. And I said, "Who's got a glove I can borrow?" One of our buddies over there threw me a glove, and I put it on as I was running out. I was going to second base, and somebody said to me, "Go out there in right field." I said, "I was going to play second." And he said, "Go out in right field." So I went out to right field, where I always ended up. Nothing ever happened in right field. Nobody ever hit a ball out to right field. So anytime I was out there, I always went into a daydream. Well, they were pitching the ball and batting the ball. And since I never got any action out in right field, I just went into a daydream like I normally did. There I was, down at the bottom, looking up at the Daily Planet, and I saw Lois Lane falling from a window. And quickly I thought of myself jumping to her rescue, and I was heading up for her, open arms, ready to grasp her in midair, when all of a sudden somebody started yelling, "Ricky, Ricky, catch that ball, Ricky!" And I woke from my daydream, and I said, "Huh?" And somebody pointed and said, "Catch that fly ball." And I looked up, and I held that glove like that, hiding my face. And by jingo, I held it in the right place because, bap, it hit my glove and my hand just automatically closed around it. And I looked in the glove and I had caught this. It was going to be a home run for somebody. And I had caught the ball. I was amazed and everybody was screaming, "Yay, you did a good job. Yay, Ricky, that's great. Now come on in, it's our turn to bat." Nobody was more surprised than me. So as I was going in, I pulled the glove off my hand with the ball in it, and the guy who had lent it to me, I heard that he was the one who had hit this ball, and he just knew he made a home run since it was going in my direction, and he gave me a sour look as I handed him back his glove, and I said, "Thank you, what can I say?" Oh. So it was our turn to bat. So here we were, last to bat. Well, 3 guys ahead of me hit a base run so that the bases were loaded, and they gave me the bat. Everybody was going like this. Oh, jeez. Well, I took the bat and I tapped it on this shoe and I tapped it on that shoe like I'd seen them do on TV. I walked over, leaned on it, grabbed some dirt, rubbed it in my hands, and picked up the bat, swung it a couple of times. And I stood there and I put it up above my shoulder like you're supposed to do. Got my body ready in a tight spring, and I was ready and tight, ready to hit that ball. And splat into the catcher's glove. Steve Reich won! I didn't even see it. Well, catcher threw it back to him, and everybody said, easy out, just throw it through, throw it fast. So I got ready again. I was looking at him, and he threw it, and I was about to swing, and bap, it was already in the glove. And I thought to myself, I'm never going to hit this ball. And everybody was groaning in the background. 3 people on base. Bases loaded. Here I was. Ah, jeepers. And I think they said it was the last out. I was the man who was in charge of this whole game. And somebody screamed, "Just swing the damn bat!" And I looked back because somebody said, "Damn!" And I just looked back, and I still had the bat on the ground, sort of on the plate. And I was lifting it up, and bam! The ball hit the bat and bounced behind the catcher, and they said, "Ball 1." I said, "Huh?" I mean, it surprised me. So anyway, I got ready again. Guy threw it, and wow, and I jumped out of the way because it would have hit me. So anyway, ball 2. So I said, "To heck with it." And I looked at that pitcher, and I got myself ready. I was tight. And that ball came, and I saw it, and I knew I had it. And I swung as hard as I could. It connected and made the loudest crack I ever heard. And sailed over the head of the second baseman. They said, "Run, run!" So I took off. First, second, 2 people had already gone through the base. The guy out in the outfield was dreaming because he figured, what the heck? I'd never hit it. And everybody was yelling at him, "Get that ball, damn it, get that ball and throw it in." So finally he tripped over some brambles out there, grabbed the ball and threw it as hard as he could. And I was getting to third, and I figured, well, that'd probably be it. And they said, run, run. So I just took off again for home, not paying any attention. And I was running as hard as I could, and that ball got up and began its arc down toward the catcher over there. And I kept running, and the ball kept getting closer. And he was standing on the plate, and I kept running, and the ball kept getting closer, and I slid. Ripped the pocket off of my jeans, but I slid into that home plate. And as I hit the plate, I heard the ball go whap. And I said, shoot. And the guy who was playing umpire said, safe. Boy, did that start an argument. People were cursing. The other team was cursing. Our team was going, hooray, Ricky, you did it, made it. We won. And they kept saying, no, he wasn't safe. Too bad, the ref said he was safe. Oh, Lordy. That was probably the first and the only time I ever, and it was, both of them seemed to be by accident. Catching that ball was, I don't know how I caught that ball. I was just trying to save my face from getting blottoed by a ball hitting it. And that bat, when I swung it, I knew I had it because, I don't know, for some reason, bat contact was perfect for me that time. And I was just so wound up that I gave it everything I had. And that, like I say, that crack on the bat was the loudest I ever heard. Sailed over I felt like a hero. Nobody could believe it. It was just my day, I guess. Oh, it never happened again. I was still always the last one they chose. That kind of luck didn't come to me again because I was never that good. Now, when we played softball, I could really whack that ball, but I was never much into sports. But that was a good day for me, and I loved it. So much for my hero of the day. And my buddy and I got on our bikes and roared our bikes all the way back home. Yep, good day for me. Didn't have many days like that. All right, folks. Thanks for listening. I had fun telling that story because it was a good day for me. So anyway, I hope everybody's day is good. I hope you all had a hero day like that back in your early days. And I'll talk to you again. God bless until the next time. Bye-bye.